Hello there everybody, how's it going and how have you been? Welcome back to SpaceChem. In the last episode we completed all 4 of the research assignments on Hephaestus 4. First one proved to be kind of tricky, the rest not so much. We also got a fair amount of story along the way. In this episode we are going to be going ahead and doing definitely this production level. Maybe the next one if there's time. I'm honestly not sure about the bonus level. I do remember what the bonus level is for this planet, and I remember that it can take a while just to run. Okay. So, we have ourselves a mining drill that digs up iron oxide and carbon. We have a recycler if need be, and we have a freighter asking for cementite, which is a ceramic iron carbide. Considering that it said it's produced on asteroid colonies, I don't know if this is actually an existent molecule, but we will have to see. And we once again have a new reactor. That's what I get for not realizing there's a spot I couldn't place things on right here. This is our super bonder reactors, and inside we have 8 bonders instead of just 4, so these guys can do really complicated bonding processes. Now, I definitely know we're going to need a sensor reactor, and we will have to use the recycler to filter off oxygen. And I can see one of my dogs walking around in the room, so if you can hear his nails clicking on the floor, I apologize. He's going over to lay down on a dog bed, so you might hear him again later. Yep, there he goes again. Okay, he's leaving. Sorry about that. Where was I? Right, I believe I'm going to need a sensor reactor to determine... well, I might not need a sensor reactor, if only because the carbon is in a different, like there's one atom of the carbon that's in a different spot than the iron oxide. So if I wanted to brute force it, I could have like red and blue run forward. Red tries to grab here, blue tries to grab here, and they just do whatever. But considering they might interfere with one another along the way, I think I'll just go ahead and use a sensor reactor. Now, we do need to... I'm sorry. I'm a little scatterbrained tonight and a little sneezy tonight, so if I snort a bit, I apologize in advance. Alright. Now, I think... I can do this with just one super bonder reactor. And I say that because... well, mainly because it's a super bonder reactor. It has so many bonders in it. So, I will time-lapse this process once I kind of lay the groundwork. Want to feed... actually, let's feed the carbon, which will come out in individual atoms. Let's feed the carbon into the lower output. The iron oxide, which I have to check the periodic table for. Where's iron? There's iron. The iron oxide will go into the top. I need one pipe going here just to vent the oxygen, because that's not required, and otherwise it would build up in the reactor and get in the way. And then this last pipe can hook into the freighter. Alright. So, I think what I can do is I can process the iron oxide into a little iron pair, connect it to a carbon atom, which this reactor will do the job of turning this triple carbon molecule into just individual atoms of carbon, and then layering everything just right to forge the whole thing into cementite. I think I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse here, just like usual with these production levels now, and I will see you once I have designed the first attempt at a solution. Okay guys, we're back. Very simple setup in the sensor reactor. Just use the sensor gate design that I showed off in Alkanost and Sikitar and used quite a few times before. I know red is kind of starting in a weird spot. This is just something I wanted to do to save myself a couple of points on the symbol count. I don't really know why, because I don't really mind if I have a high symbol count. But, I don't know, I just wanted to do it. Him hitting this drop command or this output command won't, harm the process in any way. Basically, if this reactor gets a carbon, red will break it down into atoms and send them out. If it gets an iron oxide, blue just moves it to omega and sends it out. This reactor is the weird guy. Process starts with red, picking up an iron oxide, severing it in a very particular spot so that only the oxygen is left inside, which he then chucks out to the recycler because we don't need it. He loops back up, connected to the iron he is carrying to the other iron. Come back down. I just heard a very loud car outside, so I apologize if that got picked up. Come back down, call in a carbon, bond it to the iron pair that he's holding, put it down, and turn blue on. And then just repeat. Blue has a lot of ground to cover and very little work to do. Basically, all he does is just the first set of iron and carbon he pulls down to here, second set he pushes to here, third set he grabs onto, flips it 180 degrees, because in the cementite this middle row is reversed, and then just make two bonds, put them down so that you can't bump into the wall, make the third, and send it out. I believe this will make a cementite molecule that is reversed from what is shown, as in this carbon will be in this corner, this carbon will be at this edge, and this carbon will be over here in this corner. But as we've seen, the game doesn't care. It will still be able to understand that this is cementite, assuming that crazy process works. So let's go to here. Let's go ahead and hit speed 2. So we get an iron oxide, and another one, and another one. Not too worried. There we are. Hang on. What happened? Oh, I put this bond minus command in the wrong spot. Silly me. You have to scoot it over just a little bit. And that is a blue arrow. There we go. That should work. Yeah, okay, now it should work. I'm going to trust in this reactor because I really want to keep an eye on this one. So, there we go. It released the oxygen A-OK. He's probably going to have to sit here for just a moment until carbon shows up. Any time now? Did I break something? Did I... Oh no, here they come. Okay, it just takes it a little while. There we go. And he makes the double iron carbon trio just fine. Blue puts the first two alright. My main concern is that because of this delay Blue has to make with this third layer, he's going to interfere. And sure enough, he does. Okay. So we've got a small problem. In that at some point, blue and red hit their bond plus commands at the same time, which resulted in a double bond here, and I can't really mouse over it, but there are extra double bonds that can't exist, so you know what, I'm going to use this little pause command. I don't think I've ever covered it, but basically what happens is when a Waldo hits it, it will instantly drop the speed to a pause. So I can basically hit speed 4 and it will run until blue hits the spot. So this is pretty useful if you need very accurate precision and your action time is a little bit slow. So what is the problem? The problem is, let's see. So blue will hit this bond command while red moves to a nothing square. And then blue hits this bond command while red hits this bond command. Okay. So while it might make the process run slower overall, maybe I could, like, let's see, if I make red go up and traverse these two tiles, then what would we have? We'd have blue hit a bond, red doesn't do anything. Blue hits a bond, red doesn't do anything. Blue hits a drop, red doesn't do anything. Blue hits a bond, red hits a bond. Although this one isn't so bad because I could just move this command to be a bit later and it'd be fine, so, okay. So, how about we do that, we make red make a little bit of a roundabout just so that he and blue don't conflict with this one. And we'll just nudge those up a couple of squares so that it doesn't happen when blue's trying to connect the final set of all three pieces. So, let's go ahead and see. We were getting carbon atoms, so I know my sensor reactor is working just fine. And this is taking me quite a bit longer than I expected it would for the first production level. Yeah. Oh. No, wait, what? Wait, why are they making double bonds now? What? Oh, did I push these too far back? Is, like, red hitting this bond plus command just as blue's hitting the output command? That's not the right button. Alright, let me see, hang on. Speed up. Wait, what? Where did I... Oh, dang it. There we go. No, wait. Hang on. What did I do? How did I mess up the pipes that badly? My trackpad's off. Oh, and this is... Oh, I think I accidentally moved the entire reactor. Okay. Well, no big deal. I sorted the pipes back out. Alright, let's try this again. No. It's... Oh, no. I understand what's happening now. Red's hitting this bond plus command and making the single bonds, and then blue's reinforcing it to a double bond later. So, in fact, I don't think I need this third bond plus command, because I'll just let red do the final set for blue. Alright, let's see if that works. So we get the carbon-iron trios, and sweet. Wait, yeah, alright. Scored it perfectly, and there we go. We could have certainly had probably broken this one. Uh-oh. Now what? Now what's happening? Why is... Okay, why is it failing on the third one now? Alright, well, it looked like it failed on cycle 275. So, alright. Okay, let's see what happens. So... Oh, is it that the... Okay, so... So now what's happening is that because of the random nature of iron oxide to carbon that comes out of this drill, now what's happening is that the first iron oxide for the fourth cementite molecule is getting here at just the wrong time. So now it's getting caught by this process of blue trying to put the cementite together. So, you know what? It's a tiny bit annoying. I'm going to put blue back the way it was, and I'm going to have red lock until blue is confirmed he has done whichever of the three operations he has done. It will slow things down a bit, not like I particularly mind, but it will stabilize this thing so that they will never be fighting with each other, at the very least. So, definitely could have been a better solution. Like I think I was trying to say, I could have broken this complex super bond reactor up into 2 or maybe 3, but I want to do it in 2. So, since you guys kind of know the drill, let's just hit speed 4. And it's building cementite. Wonderful. The pipes between the 2 reactors were backing up. I got a challenge. That's kind of why I wanted to use 2 reactors, is because I remembered this challenge. Yeah, there you go. Alright, what's next? Gasworks Park. And we are right smack in the middle of our window, so Okay, we've got mining drill emitting carbon and a tank of water, and we have to produce methane and carbon dioxide. Okay. Although, actually, no, we're not. I'm in the middle of my time window, but I had forgotten that there's a fairly long time lapse, so yeah, you know what, let's go ahead and do this level 2. So, well, obviously we need something to break the water apart. Send the oxygen into one reactor to mix with the carbon, send the hydrogen to mix with the carbon in another. Maybe? Could I maybe do it in a single superbonder reactor? Like both methane and carbon dioxide? I think I could, but I don't want to. Yeah, that's just gonna be too complex. I don't think there's a challenge for this level. So I'm just gonna do it on my own, or in however many reactors it has to take. Big issue is that we're getting 3 different forms of carbon. And sense reactor wouldn't be too bad, but I'm wondering how I should process the carbon. I'd like to break all 3 of these molecules down into just atoms. And I'd like to avoid one reactor breaking the molecules down and then a second reactor just like alternating which way it's sending carbon. I'd kind of like that to combine them both into one reactor. And then, you know, how about one superbonder reactor will vent hydrogen out, just like that. Well, in 2 different molecular units, I guess, however you want to call them. But you'll use the leftover oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. Or do I go the super safe route? Normally I don't do this, but because this carbon drill is still throwing me for a little bit of loop, I think I'm going to go ahead and start the time lapse now and figure it out during that. So, see you guys in a bit. Alrighty, back again, and as you can see, I decided on the layout. I just decided to go with the basic, simple plan. No real reason to overcomplicate things. Quick walkthrough. This reactor is very simple. Takes the water, breaks the oxygen out. Blue's always going to be trying to output from psi, so he will automatically vent the hydrogens. Red goes around just to make sure that he can't bump into this hydrogen in case Blue doesn't release it first. But then he puts the oxygen down and sends it out. Easy peasy. This super bond reactor is a little weird, but actually kind of simple. Red calls in one of these 3 carbon molecules, whichever one is next to up here. He tries to grab this carbon on this little kind of squat T-shape, or he will grab either kind of in the upper middle of the long thin one, or on the edge of just the 3 carbon. Either way, he will pick something up, and then he will come down here and turn blue on. He will sever a bond, assuming that there is any carbon in the, for lack of a better term, lower half of the molecule, which Blue will immediately pick up. Red will spin, which I actually just realized won't work because the idea behind the spin was to turn this 3 molecule so that it will fit on these 3 bonders, because the 2 carbons would fit very nicely right here and the 1 carbon will just sit there. So while I try and figure out a fix for that in the back of my head, basically the summary of this reactor is that no matter what form of carbon it gets, it will try to cut the molecule roughly in half, although with the 3 carbons, Blue won't get anything. And then they will try to arrange however many carbons they have onto their sets of 3 bonders, destroy all the bonds, breaking them into independent atoms, and then venting them down the pipes to the respective other reactors. And I think I just got an idea. If I instead ask Red to try and loop up to here to grab onto, then he will be left with a single atom, or he will be holding onto the top of this 3 carbon. It will get cut, and then Blue has 2, and Red will just drop the lone atom there. So it will divert slightly more atoms towards the carbon dioxide reactor, but to be honest, I'm sure that this thing's going to be producing way more carbon atoms than either of these guys can handle. Now this reactor, Red calls in a carbon atom, tries to pick up from any of the 3 spots it can appear, calls in an oxygen, makes a single bond to it, calls in another oxygen, makes a single bond to it, comes up here, reinforces the whole thing into carbon dioxide, and then just to save him a little twisty, just to both put the dioxide down, send it out, and then start going back, he just drops it and starts hitting back automatically, asking Blue to very quickly pick it up, move it down, send it out, and not have to have him worry about it. And the final reactor, same sort of deal. Red will call in a carbon, try to pick up from any of the 3 possible spots it can be, come down here, although this time he will turn Blue on and wait, because input needs to be called twice in one go. Blue calls in both hydrogens, connects them, turns Red on, comes back around. Red, they do this twice just to get all 4 hydrogens on, and then Red carries it up and sets it out himself. Kinda complicated, but let's see how it runs, shall we? So, I'm very confident this guy's going to work. And I forgot to delete the rotate command that would have thrown things into chaos. Alright, that molecule is split and the atoms are sent out. That molecule gets split, but blue doesn't put his on the right spot. Okay. So does blue rotate? Let's see, if he spins these two clockwise, they will end up right here. If he spins these two clockwise, they will end up right here. But if he spins this clockwise, this sort of collection of three, one will not be sitting on a blocker. Okay. Did not foresee that. But I don't think it's going to be that bad of an issue. So let me just think here. Alright, the only time there's going to be an atom not sitting on any of blue's bonders is when it's this pair of carbons and it's going to be right here. So if I instead ask blue to turn to the right, grab the pair again, that's not the right command, there we go. Spin it clockwise so it's up on its head, and then put it down here and attempt to release the bonds. Now if he gets the two vertical carbons or the set of three carbons, there's nothing here for him to grab, so none of this won't, these won't do anything. So that should kind of normalize everything to fit on these three bonders so that they're all separated. So try it again. Alright, that worked. I panicked there for a second because I forgot he has to do this whole little loop no matter what. Handle this last one. Alright. So this reactor looks like it's putting methane together just fine, as we can see right here. We've already made two. And there you go. There's the process for anybody that wants to see it. And anytime it's like an oxygen rise. Yeah. Alright. There we go. So a little bit of an issue in this reactor. Ooh. This guy's very full on carbon. This guy is not. But I don't think it'll be too bad. I think it'll be okay. Let's just go ahead and hit speed 4 to see. No, that guy has used up all of his carbon. Okay. Didn't see that as a problem. So I need more carbon to go out here. Okay, so main problem. Let's see. This molecule will have one carbon go out the top, two go out the bottom. This guy will have two out the top, two out the bottom. This guy will have one go out the top and three go out the bottom. So yeah, actually that does make sense because I need well, yeah, one guy is getting either equivalent amounts of carbon to the other or less. Let's see, if I try to grab the stack like here, then red has a 3 tall thing he can't handle. Or can he? Because if I leave the other two alone, he'll only be sending out single atoms, so I could instead straighten this out, move this grab command down, and... okay. Alright, so that's diverting slightly more carbon towards this guy. I apologize if the episode is running a little bit long. Let's just go ahead and hit... ooh, no, what'd I do? Oh, I forgot to redesign this reactor accordingly. So, there we go. I'm not gonna bother with filling with the notes. There we go. Ooh, wait. Oh, it held together long enough. Oh, there was a challenge for it. Okay. Well, there we go. That was the other production level. And, yep, there's our defense assignment, more than machine, and our bonus level, which I am not even going to try and pronounce that. I have no idea how you would even attempt to pronounce that, so I'm going to leave it alone. But on this possibly longer episode, I don't know, just because I don't know how quickly the time lapses are going to boil down. We completed both of the main production levels for Hephaestus 4, and we're introduced to our new super bonder reactors, which have 8 bonders, and they can do a lot more work than a standard reactor can. So, with that, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a great time, and I hope you all had a great day. I will see you all in the next episode when we take on the bonus level, and farewell for now.